Pleasant day everyone, we are the group number 3 and we are proudly presenting the project that we have created and put our talents into. Now what we have made is a digital magazine which was edited using Canva, and we have agreed to do a minimalist design of the magazine as you can see here. So without further ado, let us dive into the contents. First, you can see here is a table of contents in which you can find the pages where the images are, and we have agreed to do 10 themes per person, and that will be around 30 images all in all. And that was it for the table of contents. Now let us see who the contributors are for this project. Now we have Mr. Dexter Ombi-on, Mr. Vargas, and lastly yours truly, Mr. Makalalan. Now we are all third year students of the Technological Institute of the Philippines under the Bachelor of Science in Information Technology and are currently studying digital photography under Sergio Alcabiab. Each of us has their own specialties, but put the differences aside, the three of us have a passion for photography, and we aspire to become better in every possible way, to inspire people through the lenses of our cameras and tell stories through our images. And that is it for the welcoming. Now without further ado, let's move into the contents. So the first theme that we have is street photography. Street photography is a type of photography that captures still life in public places or settings. And because of the openness of the scene, the photographer is able to shoot candid photographs of strangers, often without their knowledge. Since the main thing here is that you need to capture the daily lives of people. Now, what I have captured here and edited is the image of the streets of Guadalupe, and it was edited in a kind of nostalgic way to really put in drama to the image. That is all for street photography. For the second part of our team, we have sunset photography. Sunset shows the sense of relief, and that's what makes it all beautiful. A person may have a lot of bad things that can happen to him or her in the morning, might be overwhelming to them, sometimes even too much for them to feel like they want to quit. But in the end of the day, as sunset approaches, they'll realize that, hey, you made it, you conquered the day. Come the dawn of night where you'll be able to sleep and rest, and tomorrow you live to fight another day. This image is a raw image, and this is a picture of a sunset in my old school, which is the Cayetano Science High School. That's all. Next up is we have the BNW, or the black and white theme imagery. Black and white gives a sense of interpretation to the image. Since there are no colors present, it's up to the viewer how they will look at it. It can also give a kind of a memory vibes for the subject as well. And as you can see, the main subject of this image is a girl, which is a special person for me, and it shows that even without colors, a person may still look beautiful above all. Neon art is one of the astonishing kind of themes, since it makes use of the different lights to make the image seem more dynamic. And as you can see here, from the simple selfie image that I have taken, I have edited it to become a little bit more interesting by adding neon highlights and designs to make the colors pop out a little more. So it may kind of look like sad wave vibes, but that's how I edited it. Next up is we have a self-portrait. A self-portrait is very different from just taking an image or a selfie. Sometimes it's better or easier to take photos of other people than taking a picture of yourself, because there are fundamental aspects such as angles and all. And above all, a person may need to look beautiful or good in the images. And as you can see here in the image, I did my best to look good. Take the image using a timer, and I dressed up pretty well as well, and edited it in a way that pops out the black accents and the red ones as well for a little more regal look for the image. Next item that we prepared is a wisdom theme image. I believe that with wisdom comes with age, and with age comes knowledge. And what better way to show that than to photograph a place where the three collides. This photograph of the Museum of Natural History was taken last 2019 in the Luneta Park and edited in a way where it gives emphasis to the theme where it looks aged. As for me, candid images are one of the best images that can be taken. It is a moment frozen in time and shows the emotions of the person in that same exact moment. It stands still yet looks so alive when you look at it. The image that I took was edited in a way that shows nostalgia, and I believe that the best thing about it is this image portrays a happy person, and that fills me with joy. Natural elements team up image is probably one of the images where not being awkward is really important and should be shown. Since the subject needs to be comfortable, the image here is a photograph of a friend and was taken without her knowledge, since it will look more comfortable in a way, and I did it for her to not be awkward in front of the camera, since she's very into playing music and she's very comfortable in that natural element of hers. Cityscape is probably one of the best kinds of photography that I myself like to do. The tall concrete jungles are one of the best kinds of images that can be produced by me, personally. So this photo was taken inside an MRT train and it shows the cityscape of Makati, and I edited it to be in a kind of grayscale with the yellow accents turned up to higher. So that's all. Letters and signs is one of the themes that we have prepared, and this is my last theme, and I have always been a bookworm, and I like taking pictures of interesting parts of the book. And this image is from my mythology book, A Timeless Tale of Gods and Goddesses, and this particular phrase caught my attention. It says here that the mind knows only what lies near the heart, and this is a raw image. This has not been edited, and that is all for all my teams. Moving on to the next presenter, they will now be your guide through our digital magazine. Thank you.
Good day everyone. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Joseph Patrick Vargas, who will be your next presenter. So, the first theme that I will present to you is architecture photography, also referred to as building photography or structure photography. Generally means photography that focuses on buildings. It can include shooting building exteriors and interiors, as well as bridges, other structure, and cityscape. What I have captured here and edit is the image of Manhattan Heights condominium that is located at Cubao, Quezon City. And it was edited in a kind of nostalgic way that is all for architecture photography. For the second part of our theme, we have doors photography. If eyes are the windows to the soul, then doors are definitely the first glimpse into the heart of a home. For me, a door is not just a tool for security and protection, but it is a cultural symbol of a human being. This picture is a raw image, and this is a picture of a door in my home. Sunday morning should be tranquil, peaceful, and fun. It is the time of the week where you can unwind and be happy on your own or with the company. And as you can see here from this simple image that I taken, I edited it to a Sunday vibe by making it appealing to the eye of the viewers. Next up is the motherhood photography. We truly believe that mothers are some of the strongest people in the world. They build people from the ground up with the utmost care for their souls and are the founders of the unwavering foundation that we stand on today. No matter who you are, no matter when your mother begins, you have a story worth capturing, and that's just what the motherhood photography accomplishes. As you can see, the main subject of this image is my mother, which is a very special person for me, and it shows how our mother loves us so much. Next up is the silhouette photography. Silhouette photography shows the dark outlines of the subject in front of contrasting bright scenes such as sunset or a studio backdrops. And for this image that I taken, I edit it by showcasing dramatic contrast. I also aim for it to make shadows as deep and dark as possible. The next item that we prepared is shadow art photography. Shadow art photography is the manipulation of the light source, exposure of the shadow to add or remove darkness from the image. And as for the image I have taken, I edit it by increasing the dramatic depth of a photo to showcase shadow photography. Smoke art photography or smoke photography, team image is one of those genres that's an acquired taste. You can't really appreciate it right off the bat, but as soon as you learn about it in a greater detail and get to appreciate its highly unique artistry, you begin to fall in love with it. In its purest and simplest interpretation, it's photography where the subject is the smoke. As for my image, first of all, I'm not tolerating you to do this. I just did this for the sake of photography, so that's why smoke at your own risk. That's all. So, pixception photography is one of an interesting photography. It is where you incorporate another camera or photo within your photograph. It can be a picture in a picture style or something subtler like a photograph or someone taking a photograph. While often informal, pixception shots can be formal or informal. As for my image, I decided to do a picture in a picture style and edit it in a kind of moody green pace and blurred my background to emphasize myself in the image. Happiness starts with a wet nose and ends with a tail. If you have a pet or have ever interacted with any animals, you know just how true this saying is. And so it probably doesn't come as a surprise that pet photography is one of the best genres to do. Pet photography is about capturing their personality, their funny and sweet moments, and their habits. It requires a certain set of skills and patience to tackle. As for my image, don't be confused with the dog because it's obvious, isn't it? Drone photography is the capture of still image and video by a remotely operated or autonomous unmanned aerial vehicle, which we call UAV, also known as a drone. Drone photography allows image and video to be captured that might not be otherwise possible for a human photographers and videographers. What I have captured here is the image of Shotgun Road that is located here at San Mateo Rizal. This was taken by using the drone of my friend that I myself used to capture this image. That is all for all my teams. Moving on for our task presenter, Amy.
So, thank you James Ivan Makalalad and Patrick Vargas. And now let's proceed to my 10 teams. First is a food photography. The primary goal of taking a photo of a food is for a real treat since the one of my favorite food. Healthy and mouth-watering. Surely is a real guilty pleasure for me. This photo was taken 3 years ago in Negros Occidental. My second theme is Polaroid photography. A Polaroid taken with Polaroid camera. I took a Polaroid to myself so they could remember me when I was gone in this world. As you can see in my photo of myself, this photo was taken a year ago. The next one is a macro photography. A macro photography is a type of photography that includes photographing small items in order to make appear a large in the image. My subject, as you can see, it's a bug, which you really get to see in the close, my naked eye. This photo was taken 3 years ago in Bacolod. The next is everyday moment photography. Everyday photography is a photography non-genre that not exists. You can photograph anything you choose, including your friends, family, and food. For street photography, even a strange object come across on the ground, a daily spread with a touch. As you may see in my photo, a man with his loneliness torn away. And my next theme is a happy day photography. A happiness feeling of pleasure, of positivity when someone feels good, proud, excited, relieved, or satisfied about something that person said to be happy. As you can see in this photo, people are so happy because they enjoy the little thing. This photo was taken 3 years ago. Next is water photography. A waterfalls, which also means your image will have a greater depth of field. As you can see in my photo, a man enjoying to swim and dive in the falls. The next one is coffee photography. Coffee photography is a technique that captures coffee pictures in your house, cafe, or coffee shop. As you can see in my photo, I drink one of coffee in the morning. And the next one is traffic lights photography. The position of quality of light can reflect any number of things in your final photo. From clarity, tone of emotion that much more. As you can see in my photo, have many different lights when you shoot at night in the streets. This photo was taken a month ago. The second to the last is a random act of kindness photography. Kindness photography is caring about others and doing things to help make their lives better. It allows us to connect with other people and build meaningful relationships. As you can see in the picture, in our NSTP, we help each other to help other people. And the last one is the shoe for a week. Shoe photography, only one shoe from the side as in the end up with a profile shot. Turning the pair of the shoes slightly to the side, focus on the first shoe and then take the shot. This photo was taken in Cubao a year ago. That's all and thank you.